What is going on, guys? Edward here, back with another video. And in this opportunity, I am very excited to show you this new thing I'm about to release. And I just want to ask you one question. Wouldn't it be nice if we had an indicator that could detect sell side liquidity and at the same time change the state of delivery? And to make it even better, probably using the standard deviation projection, knowing where to target, right? Our our zone. So basically targeting somewhere above this highs, right? Wouldn't it be cool for an ICT indicator to do that? Well, I present to you this new tool, this new indicator based on ICT. Everything I know so far from ICT, I've been trying to work hard. If you haven't seen much videos on my YouTube channel, it's because I've been creating and working hard to build stuff. And I've been very busy, guys. Very busy. You have no idea. I want to show you here what this looks like. Let me actually it's gonna be cool. Let me just bring it up here and I'll pop up the indicator and I want you guys to see pretty much what it does right at the moment here. I'm going to show you different examples, different scenarios, right? And also because like anything else, I understand the excitement right now probably is going through your head. You're still going to have losses, all right? ICT fails as well, no matter what, okay? It's a very complex subject and concept, and it will still fail, right? No matter what, no matter what. So, however, I'm gonna give you the best tips, right, to use this. So, anyways, you see the indicator is currently detecting a current sweep, right? So it's manipulation. So it's giving me my first, sort of like the first sign, right? And you see that the change in the state of delivery, it's starting. The indicator is already starting to mark up a little dotted line right here, just where my change state of delivery would be. So if I happen to get a candle to close above the opening right here, then we would have a change in the state of delivery. We can wait for retest and we can go long. And we can, by the way, we can also use the Fibonacci, right? The standard deviation to mark up our targets, where we can target. So with that, look at this. Look at what this indicator does now from there in this particular scenario. Boom. You see, as soon as it prints, as soon as the candle closes above, right here, we do have a confirmation of a change in state of delivery because the candle, it is actually closing. So you're getting your actual signal. So if you're aggressive, listen to this. If you're aggressive, you can enter there, place the stop loss below, targeting recent highs, right? Or between 2.5. Remember, this is why it's called standard deviation projection from ICT, right? So you want to target just that high. That is fine. That's it. This is what you will be getting for this particular trade, okay? You can still target highs if you want, but that's what it is. That's the aggressive type of entry. The next type of entry is if you see a formation of a fair value gap, you can probably wait, right? You're a little bit more patient, and you actually want to wait for the fair value gap creation. And once that's created, you can then probably place, you can place a buy limit order, just see if price actually going to tap it. The only bad thing about this is sometimes the price will just, right? It's going to take off and bye-bye. It'll never hit your entry. So understand that, all right? Let's see what this thing does anyways. But we see that the price actually did push to the upside. So you see that the indicator was able to detect our manipulation, changing the state of delivery, and showing you the target, right? It's not giving you automatically the entry because this is going to have, this is going to be on you, all right? Let me know in the comment section if you want this to be completely automatic, like basically as soon as this enter, it will give you the entry just like that. And targeting just right there, or 2.5, probably 2.5. Anyways, I want to hear from you guys, but this is basically it. Let's look for another example. All right, so in here, in this other example, we have a New York session just open right here. I'm currently on the 2-minute time frame. It doesn't matter the time frame. I'll explain you the settings in a little bit. But I'm currently at 8 a.m. in the morning. So notice what price is doing. New York session just open. Notice that we are having a manipulation right here, but at the moment you see price keeps going. Actually, it's now taking another high. Look at this little resistance that we had right here, right? Price is actually starting to sweep that, has detected the liquidity, and is telling me already what the potential change in the state of delivery is. What do I need to wait for right now at this point? I need to wait for displacement lower, right? That's what ICT tells us. Basically, we need to wait for that, that shift in the structure. So let's see if in fact happens or not. Right here, look at this. We still don't have it. Nothing yet. Right there. Boom. Notice what's going on right there. We have that candle printing the signal, and also we're getting the projection already, right? The indicator is giving us our projection. We're gonna enter right away. If you want, if you want to place either here, I noticed there's a fair value gap right here, by the way. Again, this is up to you if you want to follow. This is why I haven't set this automatically, but because this is going to be up to the trader. If you want to place a sell limit after that, if you get a fair value gap, probably better, right? Probably the entry is gonna, you're gonna have a much better risk to reward. But let's say we're trying to target just right here, right? And for sure, this is one target. I really need to secure and be securing profits there. One thing for sure, also at the 1 - 1 on the standard deviation, that's when you should be taking partial profits or moving stops to break even. Let's see what happens. I don't think probably, you see, this particular case, the price just literally go, right? So my recommendation is take the shot. Take the shot right away. I don't care if you get just a 1 - 1, 1 - 2 standard. You can probably take a look at other zones. Maybe you could target some of those lows right there. But at this point, for sure, you are on break even. Price, once the price hits between between the standard deviation projection, which is the 2 and 2.5, watch out, because these are the zone where usually we have pullbacks. Okay, so from here we could have a reaction pulling back up, and it can get you out on break even, right? So don't be greedy, secure profits. But this is basically what it is. Let me look for another example. All right, here we go again. We are on gold again. New York session just opening, and notice that price is actually going to the downside right now, and it's currently actually sweeping. It did sweep liquidity, but the indicator is not giving me any signal at the moment. I want you to pay attention to this, because the indicator will also sometimes ignore certain things, right? And actually pay attention to other type of things that you will be like, but why is not paying attention to this? Again, it's a brain right here at this point. It is literally a smart thing actually doing the job for you. You're not doing you are actually not the one marking up the zones, right? The indicator is doing the work for you. All right. Now, the thing is that what I want you guys to do is, for as much as the indicator is actually doing most of the work for you, you still have to execute. You still have to understand what the bias is in higher time frame, right? This indicator has a lot of stuff. This is not the only thing this indicator has. This indicator has a lot of other stuffs, other things that is going to tell you whether the bias is bullish or bearish in higher time frames, so you can get more confluences on your favor. Okay, so anyways, you see the indicator having a manipulation, right? For this to say double top right there, right? We are actually sweeping that double top. Notice already, why is there a change in state? It's that last candle, right? This last push, candle closed below. You see that candle actually did close below. You see that little line, you can probably barely see it right there, but that's a change in state. So I'm getting already a projection. You see that projection is to this lows right here, close to this lows, right? So I can take the shot. You take the shot as soon as that candle closes, stops above that week, targeting lows right there. All right. Now let's see what happens. Price go for, look at this, automatically, right? We're smashing TP now, sweeping the low. Notice the indicator is detecting another sweep right here, even from this old low right there. sweeping that. You see what is going on? You see what just happened now? Another sweep. Let's actually go back here because I want you to pay attention to it because it's not going to miss a move. So sometimes you can get multiple opportunities. So right here, you get the sweep. Notice the indicator is already telling you where the change state at delivery would be if it does close above. Boom, right there. That's the entry. Entry would be there. Stop can be here. Take profit 1 to 2. Remember 2.5. Sometimes the target. Don't be greedy, guys. You can target all the way again to the top, but don't be greedy. All right. If you're getting the standard deviation, you have to do something here. You have to do something here. That's important. This zone is also important right there. 1 minus 1. You should be securing profits as well. So let's see what's going to happen. And remember, this is the aggressive type of entry in case you don't want, like, you're not expecting price to pull back. Or the other thing is wait for a fair value gap formation. And then if it forms a fair value gap, you see it right there, you got a fair value gap. You can wait and place a buy limit order in case you want to get a better risk to reward, right? This is all it does right there. You get a better risk to reward ratio. So let's see what happens. Price does tap, goes up. Notice we are tapping now the 2.5. From here, we completely should be on break even at this point because price might actually look to pull back. So let's see what happens anyways. Very choppy. Look at this. It's printing another formation at the moment. It has detected another sell. I'll be very cautious. The price is already taking TP1. Let's see if that one plays out or not, or it reverses. Holy shit. You see, now you got another sell right here, right? While you are in this one, right? You could have catch the sell. Again, stop above. Take profit. Remember 2.5. Don't be greedy, guys. Don't be greedy because I can already smell the greediness here in this, right? So let me get you more examples and let me talk to you now about the rest of the settings this indicator has. All right, so pay attention here. I'm gonna go to settings. Right here, we're gonna, well, we can enable this, but I'm gonna show you what is included as well. You can get also other type of signals. This video is going to be a little long, but I want to make sure that I explain everything here. You see, I'm also using the session filter that I would normally be trading from 8 a.m. to midday maximum New York time right there. So what this does, again, let me see if yeah, there it is. So notice that indicator time frame right now. Currently, we have 3. We're going to have 3 times right here, right? What this thing does, basically, this is for the bias. Depending on what is going on the day, all right. Let's say I'm gonna do the daily. I'm gonna use the daily. Most of the times, I would be using the daily. I don't normally go to the 1 hour or 4 hour. I'll explain what this means. Basically, what this is accumulation, manipulation, distribution. I'm just trying to identify. You see this green zone right here? What this green zone is basically, this is how the wick of the daily candle looks like, right? So based off of this, what this is, you see, this is the opening. This is right when it opened, the daily candle. This is not the midnight open. The midnight open is somewhere here. You can actually see. The thing is, this is white, and my screen is the color of my screen. Let me see if I can change the color. Probably a little darker. Oh, shoot. But probably you can see there. Probably a little bit better. Yeah, that white. You see, midnight. This is the midnight open, but this is the open of the day. This is when the daily candle opens, right? So as soon as that opens, notice what the price does when we are right here. Right there. Okay, we just open, right? So notice that at the open, there is no wick right now at the moment. Let's wait for price to move. I want you to see this. Okay, there we go. You see, as we're going down, you see this red zone right there. What is that red zone? That's the wick. That means that we are bearish. At the moment, it's looking bearish, right? But you can actually see the actual daily candle right here. I hope it makes sense. This red zone is how this week is looking, right? So I'm trying to spot, what I'm trying to do here is to get the manipulation, right? Always try to trade the week, if it makes sense. Well, based on ICT, but let me show you here. You see now price is breaking above. Why is it shifting and turning green? Because we are back above the actual opening. You see now we have a week right here at the bottom, right? So this basically is going to tell us, right? I don't trade. What time is this? This is Asian session, right? I don't trade Asian session. Jesus, let me change the color of this thing because it just confuses me. So, anyways, you see that we were bullish. Our job here is to look for entries. Now, I want you to see also, just make sure. I know it seems a little confusing, but what this is made of for this. I'm gonna remove the filter. This is what is. Jesus, that's too many things. Ah, it just looks too nasty right now. We'll have to. I would have to remove this, and this. See the wick. Let's go 15 minute. Yeah, look at this on 15-minute. Probably the 15-minute, the higher time frame is the best. I want you to see what I mean because I know it might seem confusing right now. But here we go. This is what I this is what I mean, right? When price is currently fighting in this hour in this zone right here, I want you to pay attention. You see, so price is this how the daily is looking, right? This is the daily low. This is the daily high so far. Notice price will get into the wick again. It reacts. You see that fair value gap that is creating already? You see, you're actually seeing a formation. This is a fair value gap. You're getting already a potential, but I'm not telling you to buy right there. What you could use is that fair value gap. You could enter if you want to use this as a way of executing. You could be buying there. You could be placing the stop right here, and you can go just simply 1 to 2 or target an old high. You could even go, target those highs right there. But let's just, right, just go like this. Right? So you see what I mean? Not necessarily, I'm not going to be using just necessarily to execute. I'm combining it now with the next thing, which is the change the state of delivery. So kind of hope it makes sense. You can actually try to execute this. I will be posting more videos on how to use this if you want to execute. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and back to our 2-minute time frame here. And let's wait for New York. See, I'm using, yeah, let me remove this at the moment. I don't need this. I don't need this. All right. So you can see here, this is New York session. Wait. We are on the 5-minute time frame this time. Notice the price is manipulating, right? Notice that this right here. I want to take it slow here. All right. It detects the manipulation, right? At this point, the indicator is not giving me anything. It's not showing even the potential change in the state where it would be. It's not showing anything. We just continue pushing up. Notice as soon as that push happens, the indicator is already printing the potential change in state, right? You see where it would be, which is right here. That would be the change in the state. So let's see if we happen to reverse, and so that we can execute. Nothing yet. There we go. Boom. Gives a signal and give us our target, right? This is nicely targeting. I see potential low here. Right? So we could definitely be taking an entry, executing right there. I see no fair value gaps in this drop. So the drop is not that strong. Sometimes when you have a fair value gap, oh, it's a lot better when you see a fair value gap in it. Right now, I see no fair value gap. So watch out for that. That's probably a low probability one. You could target there. You could still target lower. You see that you have all the way down to 4. However, if you want to go there, just make sure look left, right? Look left, take a look at some of these lows, which by the way, since on the higher time frame, you see on the daily, remember this green zone right here is the week. How the daily candle is looking, we're actually strongly bullish. You see that bullish candle? Let me change the color probably to green, so probably you won't be lost. That's a green candle, right? So we're strongly bullish, but now we're getting a potential reversal right here. This is telling us that we have a potential reversal. We just swept liquidity to the upside, and we have a potential reversal. Is the price reacting? Maybe. That's another thing that we can use. Is probably a fair value gap. Is there a fair value gap in higher time frame right there? Damn, look at it. Look at this, right? So we can use higher time frame PD arrays, understanding also, right, to make it better, to have more, even more probabilities, right? The indicator is detecting a nice sell in a potential reversal market. So I know the daily is still bullish. Daily candles, it's bullish, but we're approaching a higher time frame bearish fair value gap, and we're getting a potential shift. So why not try it? I mean, yeah, at that point, you see, price taken here. We're already close. We already went below 1. I should be taking partial profits. We did not sweep this low yet. We're probably gonna. We just created a double bottom. Let's see if we do come back. Okay, all right. We did smash. We did smash the TP right there. If we were targeting that zone, or if we wanted to target lower, just make sure to secure profits, right? Our realistic targets are normally 1 to 2 R, right? As long as we understand where we are, where you're seeing you, even with this indicator, guys, again, since this opens the possibilities for a lot of stuff that I want to continue working on. I would probably be adding fair value gaps, right, on higher time frames. So for this to be fractal, entirely fractal, this entire ICT ecosystem as well. So I want to know what you guys think about this. And these indicators will be available soon. I'm working on another one. I'll probably be mix them all. I will be mix them all together because I'm working on a silver bullet. That's a different. It's for a different strategy from ICT. Silver bullet. I'll explain that, but yeah, I'm working on that indicator as well. But at the moment, I want to hear your feedback. I wanna I want to know what you think. Would you be a type of person that likes trading ICT? Would you actually be getting this indicator? Do you think it's going to actually help you? I want to hear from you guys. Let's go ahead and look for some other examples and probably some bad scenarios, right? That I know you want to hear about the bad scenarios too, right? So let's get it right here. So we are still on gold on the 5-minute time frame. I want you guys to see this. New York session is opening. Notice we've been ranging, right? This is how this green zone, remember, is the week of the daily candle. This green zone is the week. We could still probably, it could look like, it may look like this. So this is accumulation, manipulation, right? And we're looking for distribution to the upside. This is why I did this. So anyways, let's see what happens here and what the indicator is going to give us in a day like this. All right, so look at what's going on. We got a push to the upside. I see there is a ton of relative equal highs right here. It's a big resistance at the top. I see the indicator detected a manipulation, but then it was marking this change in the state of delivery. I see nothing right there. You see price just chop, chop, chop. Now we're shifting to the downside. Look at this. The indicator from here, this is bad. This is pretty bad. And unfortunately, again, because it is an indicator, at the end of the day, still following the valid sweep of liquidity right here. I do not consider, there's no sweep. There's actually no sweep. At the top, to be honest, I don't consider this a sweep. But the indicator has detected this internal liquidity sweep. There's another thing you need to know. This indicator, you can change and you can tweak the sensitivity. So you can either have more structures, right? The lower this number, the more closer structures you're going to get, right? The more closer. Like if I go here, for example, put 50, it disappears, right? Right now it disappeared. But because I'm scalping on the 5 minute time frame, 50 is too much. So I would probably be using between five, probably five is also too much. Yeah, between 5 and 10 swing period, right? I currently have it on 10. I've been testing this everything on 10 because I'm scalping. And the swing back on I have it on 15. So it is giving me a sell based on this, based on this recent internal liquidity sweep. But do you think it was actually a nice, really liquidity sweep? Did the price actually do this? Like, for example, sweep, immediately retracing back down, something like this? Did it really come really quick to the downside? No, it struggled a lot. There's a lot of freaking struggle. And then giving the sell right there. I would not, this is a scenario that I would not take, right? This is, in comparison to the other scenarios that I've shown you, this isn't a scenario I would not take, right? Let me hide this for a second. This red zone is just getting on my nerves. So, right, I would not be taking this sell. Let's see what happened anyways. If it continued dropping or it get back up. You see, it just got back up. And you see where it did go? It actually go to finish manipulating that double top that it created there. And because the formation is it's just too bad. It's just too messy. You see where the price took off from? Look at how many candles you see. One, two, three, four, five. All of the candles until the price pushed up, right? It looks like it was done on purpose, right? A nasty manipulation there. There is no change in the state of delivery here. You cannot see a change. Would you mark this as a change in the state of delivery? Please, right? No. So this push to the upside was very awkward, and the day was already telling you to get the fuck out of this market, right? So don't look to trade at this point. Pretty much price is doing, it's just accumulating, right? It's not going anywhere. So you see, not even with the indicator, with this indicator, they're gonna get really cool days every single day, right? It's not gonna be like that. This is a pretty simple scenario where price pretty much chopped around, and it's up to the person, to the human, to determine whether I will execute or not, right? So based on my experience, I would have not taken the sell, to be honest. I would have not taken it, understanding that we still left a lot of liquidity here. I would not take that. However, if you want to follow blindly what the indicator is telling you within your session, all right. I mean, take it. But again, it's important. It's important to understand. So, guys, I will give you one more example. And again, I want to see your comments. I want you guys to explode the comment section if you like it or not. Let me know. All right. Let me go ahead and jump into the last example. Probably let me jump into Nasdaq now. All right. So we're in Nasdaq. Let's go ahead and play it. And New York session open. Let's see, 8 a.m. Right. So we immediately crashing down, probably to sweep all of this recent liquidity. Let's see if we do get a setup here to go long. Wow. It did sweep. And no, we are not getting any signal here. Indicator not printing. I guess, I mean, visually, structure is pretty bad right now on the, my favorite time frame to be using this indicator is definitely the 2 minute time frame. Let's switch to the 5. I don't know, probably the 5 got something. Nope. So far, the 2 minute time frame is definitely looking the best for me. And let me see, what was the settings that I had? Yeah, I have it on 10. Yeah, 10, 15. Nothing here. The price pushed up. There's a big trend up here on this day. Let's see what's happening. What time is it? 10 a.m. Jesus. Price pushing up. Now pulling back. Okay. Let's see what it's going to do here. The price pulling back, showing me here there is a liquidity, right? There's a manipulation going on. See if we close above that change of state. Nothing yet. Nope. There we go. Candle closing, and immediately we're having this standard projection. So that means we can execute. Going long there. Stop below the low. Remember 2.5, right? Standard deviation. I see this highs right there. We could target, or you want to target that swing high too. But please remember, don't be greedy. Don't be greedy. And also one, but this is the most important zone right there. Let's see what happens. Nice push to the upside. And then ended up hitting TP in the afternoon. So you see this was until midday. So it was still able to print that position during this day. Nasdaq is more volatile, right? So we have to be more and more careful on Nasdaq, especially when the stock exchange opens or if they're news, right? NFP, CPI, all of that stuff. So notice that still only focusing, I'm literally only focusing in my session from 8 a.m. to midday. So let me know, guys, what you think. I want to hear from you. Please, thumbs up, thumbs up. If you like this type of content, I'm sorry because again I've been a little bit away of my YouTube channel because I've been working a lot on these things and a lot of other stuff. So I promise I'll be coming back more often back to the channel. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate the support, and I will see you in the next one. Take it easy.